What figure do we want to see next from InArt? And Kiko, I love Kiko. Every time we bring up InArt, bro, I fucking love this because Kiko's gonna be like, my rooted hair sucks, and that's what he's gonna say every time. Anyway, guys, I love this. He's gonna go get his Joker. I know what he is. So we're gonna talk about InArt, right? This is the phase 1 list that originally they put out there, right? And they originally said, we're going to make the figures on this list. They never promised a specific order. They just said, here's what we want to make in phase 1. Now it's like, we kind of want to make some of those. We kind of don't. And we're just going to see what's going to happen, right? But I want to see what figures people really, guys, in the chat, drop below. If you're watching the clip, watch below, drop the, comment below about what figure you want to see next from InArt from this list or maybe elsewhere, right? So for me, Marco, I'll go first since Kiko's going to get his Joker. For me, if I'm looking at, of course, I want to see Pennywise release, but that's probably going to release sometime soon. I'm talking about announcement. What announcement do I want to see next from InArt, right? If that's the question, it's really tough, bro. It's either Jon Snow, it's either Daenerys, or it's Legolas. I think I'm going to have to go with Legolas because they've already started the Lord of the Rings line. Let's keep going Lord of the Rings, and then let's hit Game of Thrones hard after that. Kiko, I want to jump to you. What do you want to see next from InArt? I have a feeling I know what it is, but tell me.
So, without a doubt, I need the Breaker of Chains, Mother of Dragons, Daenerys Targaryen, Stormborn. I need all that. I have been the 301 is not cutting it. Either of the 301s are not cutting it. If they, I think I saw tease that they were going to do like the black suited, like season 7, 8 one. I thought that was tease. Maybe I don't remember.
It was, yeah, 3-0.
I want to see a better head sculpt, and I feel like InArt can deliver that. But if there's anybody that's going to have a one hell of a head of hair, it's going to be Daenerys Targaryen. And if I get this, I'm going to be disappointed.
So tragic, Kiko.
Yeah, what happened to Kiko's? What happened to Kiko's?
People were flaming me in the comments saying, they're like, you should know that you, they're like, let's see it. Let's see it. This is it. This is it. I have not done anything with it. I've not taken the damn paintbrush to it like anyone has talked about, anything like that, because I feel like I don't need to do that. It's too poofy. I want it to lay better. The jail version looks fine. That was fine. But this one is unacceptable. I mean, just look at that.
There's a comment, Johnny Charles, that his Joker looks like Krusty the Clown.
No, for real, it looks like my grandma's hair, and like I don't want to see Grandma Zelda up here. I want to see.
Kiko, what happened, bro? Like
it came literally out of the
because mine doesn't look like that.
For it's someone
kind of fabulous though.
Maybe for
someone looks like Wonder Woman.
Yeah, for someone who waited so long and bitched so much only to have this be the delivery, you're gonna have to do a lot to win me back. So I mean, I waited way too long for this. I mean, I don't know. If someone knows like the best way to get this fixed, please let me know, because I don't want to have to keep doing it, because I've also seen people that mess with it and yeah, it'll lay it down more, but then it looks like someone like took a dirty brush through their hair or something. And it looks like wavy as opposed to like crimpy. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want it to look like someone like, I don't want it to look like the rooted, like crappy Hot Toys hair, not the great Wonder Woman version, but the rooted crappy hair. So
the reason I took the banner down, Kiko, is because this has got to be the thumbnail. This has got to be the thumbnail of the video, of the clip.
Yeah, so there it is.
Oh my God.
This is it. So this is my InArt Joker. So all that to say is that I want to see Daenerys 100%. But I also a close tie, because I feel like it'd be a lot easier to do, because if you don't get Daenerys' hair right, it's going to look like ass, and her sculpt has to be perfect too. But the Joaquin Joker for sure. Those are my 1A, 1B.
Joaquin Joker is going to be dope, because also it's going to be limited. It's going to be exclusive figure.
Oh, no, I like that.
I know. And I think they actually, I don't know if they're going to number it. I do know it's going to be pricey though. It's going to be like $1,000. So
will it be signed by Joaquin himself?
That would be amazing. I would be
all over that. Cause I know like that Batmobile from Jazz Inc. had like Snyder's signature.
Yeah. Snyder. Right? Yeah. Joaquin seems pretty tough though to get him to do something like that. So
did you get a chance to watch There's Something Wrong with Barry, or whatever his new one was?
I didn't see it. No, but is it good?
I haven't either. Apparently, it's from the same people that made Hereditary and Midsommar and all that stuff. It's a horror film. Yeah, so like I haven't got around to it yet.
I'm ready to not sleep for another 2 nights when I watch
I know,
this.
right? Is it a horror film?
It is considered a horror film, but it's once again in the broad daylight, like Midsommar or whatever. But it's like a psychological thing, like to where when it finally gets there, you're like, what the hell? But they said it's a very difficult watch because it's kind of like the slow burn. And so if you're not really into it, I didn't know anybody else.
Well, that's how Midsummer is. That's how I pronounce it, at least. But
Yeah.
Midsummer, like that is very much a slow burn film. Like so is Hereditary. When you get to the end, though, you're like, oh my
Hereditary is
god.
not a slow burn, I think, because it
Really?
starts off. Spoiler. I mean, it starts off with the creepy girl, and then she obviously loses her head, and then
yeah, that was pretty intense. Yeah,
that's pretty wild. Beau is Afraid. That's what it's called. Beau is Afraid.
Thank
you.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Marco, what do you think? I mean, what do you want to see next? I'm going to put my vote officially as Legolas, and Kiko's going Daenerys. What do you think, Marco, for your vote?
I think we'll have a lot of diversity in our opinions here. Really quick rant about InArt though, since Kiko kind of started this. They need to give us an updated product plan. This was so great. This was so antithetical to what their competition normally does. And then the fact that this is kind of like a vestige that's of when they started and it no longer is really compatible, or excuse me, no longer applicable to what they're actually doing. At least we can kind of speculate, right? Because there's a few figures that probably will not make the cut. They got to let it, and a few that they've announced outside of this list, they just got to let us know what the plan is so we can plan ahead, because these figures are not cheap. So, into my rant there, but
yeah, makes sense.
Incredibly excited for Christian Bale Batman. I think we need a 2-pack, right? We need a good Bruce Wayne Christian Bale. So if they kind of took the, I think J&D did the 2 statues, right?
Yep.
Christian Bale, or excuse me, Bruce Wayne and Batman. So if they kind of took that inspiration, gave us a 2-pack, would be all in on that. And then I think Superman. I think I've got 3 Henry Cavill Supermen from Hot Toys. Love those figures, but I know people have a lot of complaints with the head sculpt, with just various aspects of the figure. I think they could make a really strong Henry Cavill Justice League, either black and silver suit, or the classic colors. That I'm incredibly excited to see what they do there. So within the DC realm, I like other ones such as Daenerys, such as Legolas. Like, I'm excited to see those, but I want them to start tackling the DC a bit more here. So I know they're trying to get diverse with their offerings, but give us a few more DC. At least teases, at least show us the prototype to get us hype here. So that's those are the 2 that I'm going to land with.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, what do you guys? I mean, think about the possibility of releases soon. I mean, because I know Pennywise would probably be pretty soon, I would think, and Gandalf should hope. They've already teased him, right? So I mean, hasn't technically released yet at this point, which I thought he did, but he didn't apparently. I don't know. No one seems to really know because they're not really communicating as much, right? But I will say, I mean, what do you guys think about releases so far this year? I mean, those are probably the only 2 releases we're going to see this year now. I mean, Pennywise and Gandalf, because the other ones, like, you're not going to see Harry Potter this year, probably.
No, you're certainly not going to see releases. I mean, even I think back to when they did kind of what they did with Gandalf, because apparently that's the next one, right? Or is it Pennywise?
Right. Pennywise, I think, should have been, but I think Gandalf is probably going to come.
Well, either way, I remember when they did the Joker show off or whatever. It's like, we're getting close. Here's all the bodies. Here's all the stuff in the shadows. To where we're not going to show you really what it looks like, as we talked about last week. But it was still months out from when they showed that, and I don't think you're seeing another release before the fall. Honestly, I'd be shocked if they did anything this summer.
That's a good point. I forgot about it. Mark put up Aragorn. Aragorn's a good yeah. I don't think he's coming out this year though. I think he's probably coming out next year. Maybe
it's going to go under, and they won't release any other figures.
Oh gosh,
don't even put that evil on us, bro. Don't even put that evil on us, because
I think.
Yeah, go ahead, Marco.
Sorry, you're going to say we need the competition out there, right? That's
right. Yeah. But go ahead. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
No. So I think we're going to see 3 releases. I think that they will give us the Pennywise, the Gandalf, but I think they may trickle out the Batman right before the holidays, like they did with the Joker. Get a handful of them out there, because that feels like there's probably a really long lead on that particular figure. I'm sure they had a lot of pre-orders for that one, so I wouldn't be shocked if we saw kind of the first few just into the wild right before the end of the year.
That makes sense. Yeah, the Batman. I forgot about the patents in Batman. Yeah, I know Riley didn't, but yeah, he's
the top comment. CT5597 Jesse says, "What's the point of saying you're going to do all these figures when you can't produce them?" That's my question. You got to start doing something, man.
Well, they produce them just slowly, but the quality, Kiko, besides yours, the quality is there. So I don't know what happened to yours.
Yawn.
I don't know what happened to yours, bro. But
it's because of all the shit talking I did about where's mine. They're like purposely picked one that was
send in the fucking reject one. Yeah,
I guarantee it, dude. Mine was like a return, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, Guys, let us know in the comments what you think, you know, what you want to see next from InArt. I'm excited to see, you know, whatever they put out, but the Harry Potter one's not for me, but I still think it's a cool looking figure. So it's just not going to be for me. It's not going to be my collection. Fig Fate, thank you so much, bro. The second host of 1/6 Wrestling. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. I don't think it's smart for them to announce to their competitors what their plan is, though. What do you guys think about that?
They've already done it though, and so now it just leads to confusion for their consumers. If they've already put out a list, then they've already announced what they're doing. So I kind of disagree, but what do you think, Kiko?
I mean, it's good in a way because it's the Wonder Woman situation. Everyone's like, "Well, I'll just wait for the InArt Wonder Woman." It keeps people from pre-ordering for sure, but then you can only keep that shtick up for so long because everyone will be like, "Gee, can I get this Wonder Woman now if I go ahead and opt into this little lottery or thing? If I get it in like 2 months. This hasn't even been released yet. I might get it in 6 years at this point." So I feel like it could backfire the more you show your hand.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, well,
because isn't that the fun? Sorry, I interrupted your
go ahead.
Your sign off, but isn't that one of the fun things about Hot Toys is that when you wake up to see what their reveal is, you're like, "Oh, cool! Didn't see this coming." That's one of the fun about it. Same thing with releases; like you don't know what's coming.
Well, maybe the one, and I think almost, Marco, I think they are kind of backtracking. Like I almost think they realized maybe it wasn't a good idea after they did it, because for one, it locked them into people's minds of saying, oh, they're going to do these figures, where now they're kind of like changing their mind. And also it kind of like set a precedent and set an expectation for people like, oh, they're going to do them in this order and so forth. And now they're not doing them, and it created a whole thing. So I think
more confusion than it was.
Yeah. So it's almost like, yeah, you're right. They did already put it out there. So the one thing I do like though is maybe a compromise. Like maybe they don't put out what they're going to make, but once things are in production, like they're pretty good about giving updates. They're saying like, okay, Gandalf's at this point, Pennywise at this point. I like that. Right. I like that. But maybe they just don't do, we're going to make X and we're going to make Y, because, you know, they don't want to sort of tip their hand, you know, and say what they're making or not. So
makes sense. And I agree with Kiko though. That's one of the fun parts of this hobby is you just don't know what Hot Toys is going to drop at any given time. It's so random that it gives us something to look forward to.
Yeah, you might wake up tomorrow and see just something random out there that you always wanted that you never expected. So, I mean, like the figures like, you know, like Costco Reeves, for example, that just popped up one day and you're like, oh shit, that looks amazing, right? Like it's, you know, it just doesn't happen as much.
Transformer Black Panther.
Yeah, that's the one, bro. That's the one.
Everyone wanted.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it's interesting. So, guys, I want to ask the question, dude. This will be our final topic of the evening.